Previous day we discussed about the bacterium affected and virus affected disease. Today we will discuss about the protozoan disease. You know that most common protozoan disease that is occurs due to the plasmodium, that is malaria. Okay, this is most notorious plasmodium protozoans, and the severe disease that occurs by the protozoans, that is called malaria. Some of the human diseases are caused by protozoans too. You have heard about malaria disease. Man has been fighting since many years. Malaria is very old disease from the starting of the starting of the planet. You can see that this is the previous years and the old ages, previous ages, the man suffer from this disease, that is malaria. Plasmodium is a tiny protozoan is responsible for this disease. Different species of Plasmodium, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malaria, Plasmodium falciparum are responsible for different types of malaria. So there is different types of malaria also present, and different types of protozoans Plasmodium are also present, which is responsible for the different types of the malaria. Okay, so protozoan disease. So give some examples of protozoan disease. That is Plasmodium vivax. Next, Plasmodium malaria and Plasmodium falciparum. Okay, so this is the disease Plasmodium malaria and Plasmodium falciparum. These three are responsible for the different types of the malaria. The most dangerous is the Plasmodium falciparum, that caused of the malignant malaria, that caused of severe death of the person. So of those, malignant malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum is the most serious one and can even be fatal. Okay, this one is the most serious. Malignant malaria caused by which protozoan? That is Plasmodium falciparum. Let's take at the glance the life cycle of Plasmodium. How does the life cycle Plasmodium completed in our body, in mosquito's body also, that is described here. Plasmodium enters the human body as sporozoite infectious form through the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquito. You know that the malaria and the vectors or carriers are the female Anopheles, and when it enters in the human's body, it is infectious form, but when it is present in the mosquito body, it is non harmful. Okay, so harmful not. So this is the infectious form, that is sporozoites and merozoites. Two stages are present in the life cycle of the Plasmodium. Merozoite completed in the mosquito salivary gland, and the sporozoite completed in the livers of the human cells. The parasites initially multiply within the liver cells and then attack the red blood cells, resulting in their rupture. So first they enter in the person in the form of the sporozoite. It takes shelter in the liver, and after that it start to attack the RBC, and when they start to rupture and increase and decrease or comes out the infectious materials. Okay, Plasmodium. The rupture RBC is associated with release of a toxic substances hemojoin, which is responsible for the chill and high fever recurring every 3 and 4 days. So you know that when the malaria occurs, the person suffer from a high fever, or sometimes it is chill, totally body is cold. Okay, it is due to the presence of hemojoin, one toxic material present due to the rupturing of the RBC. It mixed with the blood, and this is the cause of the sometimes high fever at the interval of 3 or 4 days, or maybe 3 or 4 hours. Okay, mainly this fever comes in the night time. When a female Anopheles mosquito bites an infected person, this parasite enters the mosquito's body and undergo further development. The parasite multiply within them to form sporozoites that are stored in their salivary glands. So when that infected person is attacked by the mosquito female Anopheles, then this sporozoite form enter into the female Anopheles mosquito's salivary gland, okay, and then they start to develop and attack the next person. The parasites multiply within them to form sporozoites that are stored in their salivary glands. When these mosquitoes bite a human, the sporozoites are introduced into his or her body, thereby initiating the events mentioned above. It is interesting to note that malarial parasites require to host human and mosquitoes. So, malarial parasite, that is Plasmodium's life cycle complete in the two host body. One is human liver cell, another one is the salivary gland of the female Anopheles mosquito. And the female Anopheles mosquito is the vector, transmitting agent, carrier, that is the female. So the vector or carrier or transmitting agent of the malaria, that is female Anopheles mosquito. Next, Entamoeba histolytica, that is a protozoan disease, and large intestine human is caused by the amoebiasis, that is amoeba, okay. Amoeba is responsible for that disease, that is amoebiasis, and the causative agent is the Entamoeba histolytica, okay. Amoeba histolytica, okay. This is the causative agent responsible for amoebiasis, okay. So this is the causative agents of the Entamoeba histolytica, amoebiasis. What is the symptoms of this disease? Constipation and abdominal pain, the lower part of the belly pain, and the cramps, stools with excess mucus and blood clots, okay. This is obviously harmful for your body. House flies act as the mechanical carriers and serve to transmit the parasite from the fecal matter to the infected person to the food to fruit products, thereby contaminating them. Drinking water and food contaminated by the fecal matter are in the main source of the infection. So mechanical carrier, that is flies. The malarial carrier is the female Anopheles mosquito, and Entamoeba histolytica amoebiasis carrier is the flies, okay. You know that flies can sit any type of open uncovered food, and that's also can sit the fecal matters of the humans and another. So when there is setting, there is the infecting materials are also present with the feces. So when they sit on that, and after that when they sit on the food materials, drinking water also helps to contaminate this type of the infectious disease. So obviously keep clean and stay healthy and drink the pure and clean water to prevent this type of this disease. Next one, Ascaris. Ascaris, you know, that's roundworm, that is Ascaris lumbricoides, that is responsible for the ascariasis. Ascaris, the common roundworm, and Wuchereria, the filarial worm, are the some helminthes. So some helminthes, to previous day I have told that some helminthes also responsible for the disease, that is platyhelminthes, aschelminthes, that is Ascaris. Okay? So Ascaris, it is responsible for the ascariasis. This disease occurs by the roundworm, ascariasis. So what happened? Symptoms of this disease include internal bleeding, muscular pain, fever, anemia, blood is obviously reduced in your body, blockage of intestinal passage. The eggs of the parasite are excreted along the feces of the infected person, which contaminated along with the feces of the person, which is the water, soil, plants, etc. So soil, plants, water, actually mainly the water, the food material, if that is unhealthy and unclean, that is the main reason of this type of this disease, okay. Through a healthy person acquires the infection through the contaminated water, vegetables and fruits. Vegetable fruits, they can also carry this type of the eggs of this type of this helminthes. So when you take this type of vegetables food, if do not wash this clean very properly, you can affected by this disease. Next, Wuchereria branchopti and Wuchereria malai, the filarial worm that is caused slowly developing chronic inflammation of organ that is lived for many years, usually the lymphatic vessels of lower limbs, and disease called elephantiasis and filariasis. The Wuchereria attack the limbs part of the lower parts of the body, so thigh area and pubic area, that is the sex organs of the body that is affected by, that is genital organ, this is affected by this type of the disease. Okay. Wuchereria branchopti, Wuchereria malai. Okay, these are responsible for the elephantiasis. Or filariasis. So Wuchereria branchopti and Wuchereria malai, these both filaria is responsible for this disease, that is elephantiasis or filariasis, the swelling of the lower parts or genital organs. Okay. These genital organs are also affected, resulting in gross deformities. The pathogens are transmitted to a healthy person through the bite by the female mosquito vectors. Many fungi belonging to the genera Microsporum, Trichophyton and Epidermophyton. So this is the helminthes disease. Now fungi. How fungi is responsible? Mainly fungi is responsible for the different types of skin disease or skin rashes. Okay. So which type of fungi is responsible for? Microsporum, next Trichophyton, Epidermophyton. This is responsible for different types of, one is the ringworm. Okay. Ringworm, you can see that in our throat area, in our hand, leg, there is round shape structure is present and there is very itching, redness you can see visible, that is called dad in Bengali. Okay. So this is the ringworm and this type of fungus is responsible for this type of this disease. Okay. Many of the fungi belonging to genera Microsporum, Trichophyton and Epidermophyton are responsible for ringworms, which is one of the most common infectious disease in man. Appearance of dry scaly lesions on various parts of the dry scaly ring-like structure appears in mainly in the neck region. These lesions are accompanied with intense itching. Heat and moisturizer help this fungi to grow, and which makes them thrive to skin folds such as in the goiter between the toes. Where is the folding? There is neck region, folding is present. The toe region, where the folding region is present, mainly because the heat and the sweating is also present, moisture is also present in this area, that start to develop. Ringworm are generally acquired from the soil or by using tiles, claws or even in the combo of infected individuals. Maintenance of personal and pubic hygiene is very important for prevention and control of many infectious diseases. This is most important. If you stay clean, you obviously stay healthy. But if you stay unhealthy, you want to unhealthy, you do not need to be clean in your personal life and healthy and public lives. That is just surroundings. Okay. So maintenance of personal and public hygiene is most important for the prevention and control of many infectious diseases. Measures for personal hygiene including keep the body clean, consumption of clean drinking water, food, vegetable, fruits, etc. Public hygiene includes proper disposal of waste and excreta, periodic cleaning and disinfection of water reservoirs, pools, cesspools, tanks, and observing standard practices of hygienic to public catering. So you're healthy, just keep clean your environment, do not stack the water, different types of water blogging area, tank, ponds should be cleaned, okay, and your body should be cleaned. When you use different types of cloths, materials, towels, that should be cleaned. When you take the food, that should be very clean and healthy. Drinking water should be clean, okay. So how much you should just you maintain the cleanliness of your public and personal life. These measures are particularly essential where infectious agents are transmitted to the food and water as typhoid, amoebiasis, ascariasis. Then in the case of airborne disease such as pneumonia, common cold, so waterborne disease, typhoid, amoebiasis, ascariasis. Airborne disease, pneumonia, common cold, you know that this is very common and that occurs in this type of rainy season, in the winter season, because it spread from person to person through the air. Viral fever, we can say that. Contact with the infected person to the belongings would be avoided. If you prevent from that, so just stay away from that infected persons. For diseases such as malaria and filariasis, these are transmitted through the insect vectors. The most important measure is to control or eliminate the vectors and their breeding places. This can be achieved by avoiding stagnant of water and around residential areas, regular cleaning of the household coolers, used of mosquito nest, introducing fishes like gambusia in ponds that feed on mosquito larvae, spreading the insecticides is also present. So if you want to prevent from the mosquitoes, obviously you should clean their breeding grounds. Stagnant water should be cleaned, the mosquito nets should be used, and different types of insecticide sprays in that area to prevent from the mosquitoes. The use of vaccines and immunization program have enabled us to eradicate a deadly disease like smallpox. A large number of other infectious diseases like polio, diphtheria, pneumonia and tetanus have been controlled to large extent by the use of vaccines. Biotechnology is the verge of making available newer and safer vaccines. Discovery of antibiotics and various other drugs are also enables us to effectively treat infectious disease. So different types of vaccines and drugs are also present due to our medical science development. And the smallpox, you know that, and malaria also at that time when they take the severe disease, but in this time they could be prevented by the different types of the vaccines and drugs, okay. So next day we will discuss about the immunity. Today this is up to for the today. Thank you very much, Sidita. Thank you everyone. Bye everyone.